Welcome travelers from the winding trails. Grab a spot by the hearth and a pint of ale. A brief respite from our noble quest. Lean back in a chair for the Song of Rest. Hello travelers and welcome to the Song of Rest, a place where our heroes and the deities that guide them gather to share a behind-the-scenes and behind-the-screens look at the unfolding adventures in Archipeldia. Gathered before us is our dungeon master, Aaron Rollins, and his band of players, Janelle Wilke, Chad Stafford, and Ben Holland. But I'll let them do the talking, and I'll get back to playing.
I don't know about you guys, but I blame Tuffet for all of this.
Really? Couldn't tell. Couldn't tell.
I do. I really do.
No, Thrig couldn't tell.
Damn him!
No, please re-explain this to Thrig. He doesn't understand.
He doesn't get it.
You said he was an upstanding citizen.
You said he was great. You told everybody.
I like that Tuffet took it that way too.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Oh man, Timothy holds some grudges.
Nope, just Tuffet.
If it wasn't such a somber scene, by the way, when we looked upon all the dead lycanthropes, Flowercat was gonna just turn to Nathaniel and be like, "Oh look, an all-you-can-eat buffet."
I was going to say something similar. You eat one of those?
Yeah. Oh God.
It's aged and everything. I love it.
Aged beef.
Yeah, they say it's a delicacy.
Check, please. Oh man. Yeah, that would have been messed up. But I mean, hey, it solves our problem for next round, for
Yep.
next session.
Old brains.
It's been a considerable length of time since we've recorded a canon episode, so it was great to get back to it.
Yeah.
Missed these.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. And it started fast. We didn't have to wait around to get to anything.
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing with the Jabberwock could have gone south so fast.
So let me talk about that. That you guys did really smart shit with that one. I had it prepared. I mean, there was a ton of things you could do, but basically the idea is, how are you going to get Roan here in this much time? And what you guys came up with, I could not, argue with that. That's just going to work, Thrig is juiced and he is going, and he doesn't have to stop, So big props to you guys for coming up with that solution.
Yeah, just Thrig as a roided out nat one rolling machine.
Oh, the ones.
What was that? 3 or 4 nat ones you rolled?
I rolled three nat ones a session.
Well,
yeah, I
never do that again.
I rolled a nat one on my acrobatics check and then a nat one on my dexterity save. And then a nat one on the strength. So thankfully the strength didn't matter that much, but yeah, 3-1.
Just the most epic jump followed by 2 huge falls.
Jump 30 feet just to drop all the way back down.
Yeah.
I bet it looked cool though. I mean, if you ask Thurg about it, it didn't happen, but it's fine.
I imagine the one of the ending scenes of the first Space Jam, where Michael Jordan's arm is just stretching out and he's doing this enormous jump, and then just his head just hits the freaking board and then falls to the ground. That's basically what happened with Thrig.
Yeah. Fantastic. So tell us about the things that you had planned. Should we have failed constitution checks or, something else had gone could the Jabberwock have feasibly caught us?
Yeah, so what Timothy and Flowerkraut were preparing to do is kind of what I thought you guys were going to have to resort to if you couldn't get him there fast enough. There was also a lot of help that the cavalcade could have done to assist you guys in getting Roan there. But there, essentially, if you had failed Constitution saves, it would have slowed your movement. So basically, the idea was that you were roughly a mile from Astrazalian. And so I was doing percentage checks of how many feet you were moving in a minute versus, a mile. And that's how we came up with like 16%. 800 is 16% of 5,000, a little under a mile, but like that's where we were getting that. And I was going to be doing all these calculations and everything, but it was just it was a straight line up, man. Like 800 every single turn, you're just booking it. So turned out you guys didn't really run into any of the problems with this one.
Only one of us needed to succeed for all of us to succeed, really.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I was thinking about it at some point. Because like, I'm leaving them behind. It's like, oh, well, does that matter? Because if the Jabberwock catches us together or apart, is it really going to matter? Because that thing is, I assume, much more powerful than the three of us, right?
It's not going to be a fight.
Exactly.
It's going to be, he is an obstacle, not an enemy.
So I just needed to get Rome in that wellspring, and that's it.
What kind of help actions would the cavalcade provide that you had like prepared or up your sleeve?
Like the pixies have some magical abilities. You guys really haven't interacted with the pixies much, but there's like, a family of pixies that travel with the cavalcade.
Tuffet could have sacrificed himself, just a random example. Just jumped in the line of fire.
There's a unicorn that's packed full of magic too, that you're not sure if Tuffet knows how to leverage that magic in his unicorn, but there is that. So there's other things that could have stepped up and been like, hey, I can help by doing this, and it might have assisted you guys. Because one of the things I think I was worried most about was you guys going up to the island, like climbing the vines and all of the like rocky face of the floating island there. And like, I thought that was going to be the part that you struggle with the most, because it's all about climbing. But with Flowerkraut's spider climb being cast on Thrigg, it was genius. You were basically running straight up, just having to jump between platforms.
Yeah, if any of us fell from that height, it would not have been a good situation.
Oh yeah, that was exactly half my HP on that fall. And then
That's scary.
having Roan slapping me in the face.
Yeah, that fall would have hurt Flowerkraut or myself much worse.
Yeah, I ended up being down to with the fall and then Roan slapping me in the face to keep my rage going. Just because I think I went from
like
50
4 slaps, right?
I was gonna say I think I went from 50 hit points to 20 or 21.
Good Lord.
During that run, yeah. But I got to do cool giant shit.
Yeah, man. It was Thrigg's big day. Loved it.
Yeah.
So I've got some awesome news for you guys.
Oh?
You get to Brokenstone Vale milestone. You guys just hit level 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, this is huge. Yes. Oh my gosh, so excited.
This is going to be the best week in our little group messenger chat as we all talk about what we're thinking about doing.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah. I kind of already have an idea, but it's so fun to look at it.
This is the hardest part about multi-classing is like, which one do I want to level up?
Barter Rogue. How long has it been since you guys leveled up?
That was after the Grubgantuan, I believe.
It was after the Grubgantuan?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yep.
Lilu Dallas multi-class.
So because I wasn't recording with you guys at that point and I was listening to episodes as they came out, how long ago actually is that though?
In time?
In time, yeah. I'm thinking
At least a year, right?
God. Hold on. This is going to make me feel bad. I can't edit these any faster.
Nah. Do what you got to do.
Hey, listen, everybody, there is no podcast on the internet edited cooler than this one. Tell your friends. And it's that man right there trying to look up the edit that he's made. He'll probably delete this because this is what he would do. But I'm saying
no, absolutely not. We keep the faults. Gosh, let's see. Would that have been the assault on Gallant Peak or earlier? No, I think it was
been
earlier. Ambush.
Ambush, yeah.
Ambush. Yeah. So that came out September 16th, 2023. Shut the front door. No. Absolutely.
It's been over a year.
And that's when it was posted, right?
Shut up.
Well, see, that's what I'm asking. That's when it was posted, but when did you actually record that?
Okay, well, I can look up our recording data, so give me 2 seconds. You guys just talk amongst yourselves while I look that up.
Yeah, see, that's why it's fun to think about it because for me, for Thrigg, gosh, I've been playing with you since, was it September? The first one? Somewhere around there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if we're counting that holiday episode.
Yeah, no.
April 21st, 2023.
Oh my God.
Wow.
April 21st, 2023.
Yeah. So for me, it's not, I haven't been at level 5 that long with this character, and you guys have been at level 5 with your characters for almost 2 years.
I mean, yes, but like there's also like how many that was episode 19 and we're at episode 27, so it's 8 episodes before leveling up. And mind you, like once you hit 5, think levels definitely start coming slower. So but time, yeah, that's a lot of time. But episode wise, not really.
You've had a lot of time to understand and think about what your character is, almost 2 years, and now all of a sudden they're going to be different. And that's pretty awesome.
In world time is not that long.
Yeah.
Level 2 rogues get cunning action.
They sure do.
That's right.
Yeah,
You've been wanting that one.
I wasn't going to guide you, but I was like, I can't believe you won't go get cunning action.
Yeah, you had the itch for that when you were doing the fight when we first met Remington.
I'm learning from Remington.
Yeah, because he was doing that shit where he's like hiding as a bonus action and then sneak attacking.
That's actually that's the perfect time, because I imagine them traveling. Timothy's probably just like, so how did you do that exactly?
And he's like, what, this? And he disappears.
Where did you freaking go? He stole my ring. It would work for him. I know it.
Oh, Aaron, I wanted to point out a moment that I was so certain was going to happen. I think you laid it up this way intentionally. When you mentioned that when Frigg and Timothy were out and there was a sort of full moon happening, I'm like, oh no, we are going to get like attacked by a group of werewolves. And I was breaking out into a sweat. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. And so I was waiting for it. And then it didn't happen. And then I think once you mentioned the hill, I'm like, the werewolves are going to be dead, aren't they? And there it was. It was just like, I was so freaked out when you mentioned the full moon. I'm like, oh my gosh, why are we camping right here? This is terrible. But then they didn't come out.
Yeah, it was mostly just to kind of give a sense that this is a place where lycanthropes can be in their form all the time, because there's always a full moon. Like they live like that, But yeah, they have also faced off against the Dark Fae and seemingly lost, like many others in Astrozalian.
And now we know what made the Jabberwock go crazy. And we know what the Moon Maiden is now, or the Maiden of the Moon, that is.
Yes, the Maiden of the Moon that the Jabberwock was kind of burbling as it walked slowly past you.
Yeah, I actually entirely forgot about that.
That is the one thing I made a note of. Everything else was just all out of the brain.
A lot of things go out of my brain pretty quick.
So I'm done leveling up.
You already did it. Oh my gosh.
I got a decent HP boost. I love it. I'm not such a squishy bird anymore.
Ooh, those hollow bones.
Still couldn't take a fall quite like what Thrigg did, but
No.
So, fan art moment.
Did yours wind up staying the same, Ben?
Nope. It's you crawling around in Tuffet's tent. It's
oh my god, yes, that was
yeah.
so funny. Oh, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Holy crap!
That was just I start crawling around on the floor. Like that was just horrifying and lovely. And I love everything about it.
It could get worse for you,
I was gonna say that right during the episode. I was gonna be like, hey, just like Ben decided to go, hey, my fan art moment is this. I was like, my fan art moment just happened. It was Flowerkraut and her. Well, because I imagine that you got that down on all fours. You're crawling around and your head somehow turns 180 degrees and it's still in the like the freaky large Marge mode, and it's
Yep. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone out there has not seen that, but you must look it up from Pee-wee's Grand Adventure or Big Adventure?
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And yep, just look up Large Marge. It's very scary. That used to terrify me as a child, but it was also really cool. I would like repeat it a lot. I'm just like, what the heck? That's so scary.
I just love that Flowerkraut went like protective mom mode. Like, oh, my child is upset. I will destroy the person that made him upset.
Like, you want to go like kill him or something? Let's go.
Would that make you feel better?
And then Timothy still was holding the grudge. He's like, hey, do you want to steal that cart? We should go steal the cart.
What, you mean this cart over here? No, not in front of him, Trig. So
You didn't
funny.
say. I did what I thought was right, and it worked out. You got to ride because he's a nice guy, and you like him. You told me so.
Threg not know what's wrong. Ring of invisibility at work.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny, Ben.
Don't you semantics me, Trig.
I love that you're like, that's exactly how I interpreted it. Like,
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. So I'm done leveling up too, but I'll talk about that in a second. My other fan art moment still does stand though. The idea of Thrigg jumping over Remington onto the mountain, but it's all just like silhouetted against like a sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Free Willy thing is kind of hilarious.
yes, free Roan.
I love that I could do that with him where I could rage right before so I could take the 10-foot leap and then jump twice as far.
I love the idea of Roan just slapping you every once in a while. Like that's just going to always be funny to me.
I need you to slap me in the face. I don't understand it, but okay.
Honestly, though, like, and here's a thought. We could easily summon one of our spirit animals, and that's their only job, that if you don't take damage during a fight, they just hit you. Just slap you a little bit.
Biting me on the arm.
They scratch you.
Yeah.
Just rides on my shoulder and bites me every once in a while.
Remington's fox just gnaws your arm like a son of a bitch.
Just dangling from Thrick's arm.
A constant life drain, but it's actually helping.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love how at the very beginning, Roan was like trying to refuse the potion, and three of us like bullied him into like, and then he just force fed it.
God, I love that. Do you know how badly Thrigg's gonna want to meet a werebear and see if he can be one of those?
Yeah,
Right.
I saw that coming.
When you said werebears, I was like, what? Tell me more,
Thrigg
please.
understand that what you bite Thrigg and Thrigg be like you. Could you please bite Thrigg?
He's just got one of the dead ones and he's trying to bite himself with
Yeah.
it.
Do it. Come on. Work.
Just my spirit animal baritone is just sitting over in the corner shaking his head. No, stop it. My dad's an idiot.
Yeah, so we already decided that baritone is the bear spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Alto was Roan's owl.
Mm-hmm.
We still need one for skunk kraut, and we'll need one for Remington's fox.
Do you want to stick with music puns?
I thought that was fun. Baritone, literally, I like as soon as I figured that one out, I was giggling to myself off mic.
Yeah. Baritone is good. I like tempo is really good. And then you've got like things like stanza, which is good. Crescendo.
This isn't really, it doesn't flow off the tongue, but sour note.
Sour note.
Sour note.
That's actually
Sour
really
note's
good. Sour
amazing.
note. Yes.
That's
That's
amazing.
That's the skunk kraut's name.
We didn't end the think tank project right there. It's finished. You got it.
Sour note.
Yay! Was the fan art moment for everybody the Flowerkraut thing, and then Thrigg's jump?
It's a hard one to beat, to be quite
It's
honest.
so
that
funny.
was really funny.
I did love Nathaniel directing Thrigg's body.
That's also
Like-
really funny.
Yes.
That
is
was
funny.
pretty sweet.
I just love the image of like, because you'd have crawling kraut with the large Marge face, like just scary face, and just a terrified Tuffet, like, you know, what the fuck?
Sleeping at night
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, it's just when you decided to do the intimidate, and then all of a sudden you just like threw it in on nowhere. I start crawling around on the floor. It was so aggressive.
It was like Flowerkraut's true form.
It's like all of a sudden you turn into the girl from The Grudge and start crawling around his tongue.
You haven't even seen my true form yet.
Oh, what's it, Aaron? You're like, what did you say you do? I'm like, I crawl on the floor and I can barely even say it every time. It is funny because it's like there's so many ways that this could go. Like Flowerkraut could try and like seduce him or sneak in or something. It's like, okay. Flowerkraut was just so pissed at him. He's like, I'm gonna scare you and I'm gonna crawl all over your floor.
You already got what you want out of me, man. What the hell?
Have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You see both Timothy and Tuffet with like dark circles under their eyes after that night.
Yes, the morning they're both just, good morning.
They're both glaring at Flowerkraut.
It's incredible. This was cool, Aaron. Like, what a neat idea for an escape.
Yeah, I always love combat that's not like actually combat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that stuff too, because I think combat becomes too repetitive. Like, you always have to, I mean, when you do combat, make sure you add some elements of flavor to it to keep it interesting. But there's also, you harken back to, and I don't want to admit this because let's all forget about that game, but D&D 4th Ed did skill challenges, and I thought they were a really clever idea where you're like, okay, we're in an encounter that doesn't necessarily include combat. You just use your skills, and like as each step, like basically you would work up towards success, but failures would bring you back down. So they had kind of like a scale to try to accomplish something. I took that to more of a dismembered, you know, I more constructed something granular in how the rules work, what kind of skills you can use. Those are fun because they're kind of like mini games within the game, you know, and I think it makes for a more fun experience than just, what do you do? Oh, I run, you know?
Yeah, and I once again will stick with my story that ones are funnier than 20s because that story is cooler now that he jumped up, did something cool, and fell on his face, right? Which is really neat because you picked something he was bad at. He's not great at Dex. It's only a +2, right? So that makes it much more interesting, dangerous, something, one of those words.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the damage the Thrig took. You essentially lost a minute.
I didn't care about getting hit. I didn't care about the damage. I cared about that I just slowed down.
Right, exactly. I mean, so it wasn't just a, oh, well, I'll try again kind of situation. It was, I lost time, so this kind of hindered us, you know?
Oh, I was going to ask, I didn't know if this factored into any of your equations at all, but did Timothy, you know, doing a really good job yelling at the Jabberwock, did that save any time?
That saved maybe a round of time because it flew back to look at them.
It circled around. So would he have potentially caught me when I went into the well?
There was a possibility where Roan hadn't actually got into the Verdant Wellspring before it showed up. And so I had kind of a little bit prepared for when the Jabberwock like crashes into the building and is trying to snap at him or trying to attack Roan while you guys are running through to throw him in, you know? But there was enough, like, really what happened was you getting there so fast from running every turn gave you guys time to get him out before the Jabberwock actually gets there. It still would, it's a straight up cutscene because I do that sometimes in D&D, in role playing. The cutscene where the Jabberwock gets pissed, frustrated, doesn't know where its quarry went, wrecks everything in Estrozalian, and then leaves. That's going to happen regardless with this scenario. But it was, you guys were able to do this fast enough that there wasn't any fighting involved.
It could have wrecked us in the well with us in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that could have been really bad for me and Remington.
Yeah.
That also calls to mind another, if I can add a fan art moment, was when Flowerkraut decidedly said, I'm doing this, and takes her mask off as the Jabberwock is flying our way, and then does mirror image, which is pretty freaking cool.
That's really fucking cool. I love that so much, Janelle. I was like trying to think if this would actually do something for the Jabberwock's blind.
Mm-hmm.
And the senses that it uses are it will look at someone, but it's not using like its eyes to look at you.
Right.
And so it heard Timothy, it heard your thaumaturgy, it acknowledged that there were creatures down there, but it is so focused on getting to Roan that it only caused hesitation. That was it.
Because, yeah, I remembered back when we first encountered this thing, it had kind of locked in on our position as soon as, like, it was pretty far away range, and it came for us because we didn't have the masks at the time. And that's when Roan made the decision to take off his mask and become its quarry. And yeah, so I'm like, maybe if I take the mask off, then it's like it will sense that another being is there, and it'll stop it in its tracks, especially if I like distract it with my voice. But seeing that it wasn't enough, I really loved that Timothy was able to do Roan's voice. I thought that was so epic. And it's just like, ooh, it was just like really, ooh, man, I wish we were able to get its attention, but things worked out.
But also glad that we didn't.
Yes.
Probably
Also glad that we
died.
didn't have to deal with that. That's scary.
Yeah. And I'm not asking you to answer this question, Aaron, because I certainly don't want to know the answer, but I almost wonder if it's like the movie It Follows, if anyone's seen that movie, the rule of that. Yeah, it's like, well, no, Roan was first, so I need Roan. I don't care about that you guys did the same thing. It goes to the first person that aggravated it. And so now maybe it's off after something else. Maybe there was something else, that we don't know about that it wants to go get. And if it finishes that up, then it's like, all right, cool, that Flowerkraut person's on my list next. Like, is it like that?
Yeah.
Is it not done at the moment? Yeah.
And I don't want to know yet. I
don't
like
want to know
not
either.
knowing.
I don't want to know the answer to that question. I like thinking about that. I also, fan art moment that I wasn't really thinking of, the idea of it being birthed during the hags. Like, that'd be a really dark scene to see.
Just from all the decay and the fungus and
yeah,
so cool.
I actually, you know
Evil
what? That
creating
sounds
evil.
pretty cool. I'm going to write that down because I like the idea of that one a lot.
I do too. Like, evil creating evil is kind of messed up.
I really loved the role play that you did, Chad, when you were upset with Flowerkraut for taking the mask off, even though Timothy took the mask off too after the fact. Like, and he had his sweet hug moment with her. I really loved that. I thought that was a really nice moment.
In his mind, like, you guys have made more friends, but he started this journey with Sherman and Flowerkraut, and now from that journey, it's him and Flowerkraut, and the idea of losing her, he's like, well, I can't handle that. So whatever she's gonna do, I'm gonna do, regardless if I'm scared or not. So, but then he was mad at you. He's like, don't make me do that again.
Yeah, I like that. I like that it was complicated feelings. I just felt very real, which was cool. I liked that a lot.
So, Aaron, what did we do this time that you didn't expect?
I mean, I mentioned the buffs, giving you the strength and the spider climb, which was just clutch. I was like, oh, well, shit, this is going to be pretty simple for you guys to accomplish. The thing with Tuffet just is hilarious. Yes. So that's been fun.
For a while, Timothy loved doing it. Chad was like, are we going too far?
I wanted to see it keep going. If we did that for another 10 minutes, I would have been excited.
Yeah. So, like, I was actually really surprised when Janelle was just like, yeah, I go in his tent. It's like, okay.
If anything, the assault on Tuffet leading to that was the sole reason it needed to happen, was so that moment can exist.
Yeah.
Because that's the funniest thing that has happened.
So fun. So good.
And don't forget rolling a nat 20 to touch the unicorn's horn.
Oh
as
yeah.
well, yeah.
Dude, I know. I get some of the dumbest 20s, honestly, but it's still cool.
I feel like we could have, persuaded the unicorn to leave and come with us.
Ah, that'd be nice. Yeah, I know. We collect another horse. That'd be awesome. Maybe we get Jive Horse a girlfriend.
That's what we're a band of horses.
Where is Jive Horse these days besides the astral plane?
Besides the non-canon episodes.
Living
He's
it up.
a DJ on the story arc.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned this anywhere, but Ben basically whipped up some of those Jive Horse tunes that happened during the holiday episode, and they're fantastic.
Ben and I have said we need to do another song, a bonus song of rest about the music from the holiday episode, because we were having an absolute jam session.
Yeah.
Where Ben was just whipping up some really freaking cool stuff in the middle of me editing. He's like, what if we did this? I'm like, you know what, Ben, we will do that because that's amazing.
Yeah. No joke. Chad and I spent maybe 15 hours together.
Wow.
Between 2 nights, to do all this. And that was the one thing, because I do a lot of stuff on guitar work and everything, and Chad was like, oh yeah, I got this I downloaded from a what's it called, not free use but open use website to get this one music thing, and I was like, no. And he's like,
no, we're just gonna make it.
I'm gonna make it. And he's like, you're going to make it on your phone? I'm like, I'm going to make it on my phone. And I made it on my phone using GarageBand in 15 minutes. And I actually really like it. I really like it. It's got all the dumb stuff that techno music should have. And it's really good.
Just picture Jive Horse doing jamming out to those songs specifically on the story arc.
Just hit each hoof on a record player. The idea makes me happy.
Yes. Yep. Or one hoof up on the headphones, the other hoof on the record player.
Yes, something along those lines. And looking like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Sunglasses.
Can't see them. It's nighttime. Still wearing sunglasses.
Oh my gosh,
Doesn't
how
matter.
many original tracks have been made for Jive Horse alone, actually?
Probably 4 at this point, because we have multiple iterations of the horse wave
Yep.
Yeah.
that have been used. Which I keep saying we need to create a Spotify album of all the original music that has been produced for this show. Because it's becoming quite an impressive list of songs.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that song rest, and we need to do a song rest for music and bring Mr. Rory O'Neill on one to talk about it too.
Yep.
Yes, we do. On tap.
Yeah,
Bring in
we
Rory.
should do that. Yep, we should do that on tap.
Speaking of, that's a good plug for On Tap. On Tap, we have a new show. We have a new side show where we talk about just role-playing games. We talk about different styles of DMs. We bring in some guests who are in the TTRPG scene or adjacent to it, just the stuff that we can't fit in a song of rest that just doesn't feel like it's not associated really with an episode. That's where On Tap comes in. So definitely give it a listen to. By this point, we probably have 2 or 3 episodes out. So please check those out.
Yeah, and you can also submit questions too. So if there's anything you want us to talk about.
That was 100% the same
Did
thing
I
I was
steal
gonna
that
say.
from you, Ben?
Nope, that's great. It was the great same thing I was going to say, because it's topics and questions. Things you'd like to hear us talk about, or questions within the stuff. We would definitely like to hear that. And yeah, you can find us on our social media channels. There'll be an end roll at the end of the episode. Please send us something that way.
Yes.
Leave a comment on our YouTube or Facebook or anywhere. Add your question to the Ask Cask, and we might just answer it on tap.
Yeah, and if you have questions that you don't want the cast to know ahead of time, you can send them directly to me at slam_handwich on Instagram, because I put all that together. So if you want to surprise somebody and not have them prepare, which I appreciate.
Rude.
Yeah.
I've got some more musical musical names now.
Ooh, okay, do share.
Okay. There's I feel like these are some good ones. So octave,
Okay.
treble, and one that I didn't know what it was until I looked it up, tutti. Tutti.
I also do love treble.
Treble's good.
Treble's good. I like treble.
Treble is pretty fun.
Treble might be a good raccoonathy one.
Because it sounds like he's trouble.
Well, is there anything else from this episode that we didn't cover?
No, man, you just left us off with a real foreboding ending right there. So I can't wait till we can record the next one.
You left us in a real happy spot.
Oh, you know what, Aaron, you might have mentioned this before, but can you refresh my memory? Like, how is a blood memory formed? Is it because of a giant massacre that it forms, like residual magic, or what happens? How's that happen?
It is the culmination of a lot of death in a concentrated area.
So glad that's what it was, because like Chad pulled that from his brain. He was like, God, I hope I'm right. Otherwise, that's a pickup line.
The thing is Ben knew what it was, but I knew Thrig didn't. It was like, Thrig can't watch Flowercrop cut herself, and not try to stop it. So
yeah.
I had to bring that in. And I also thought, oh, this will be a good moment to remind people what these are.
Yeah, so it's basically something like magical that happens to preserve what happened. It just kind of happens automatically.
It feels like it's partly created in hopes that a resolution is made from the tragedy.
Ooh, you actually think of it as a way of like getting a positive from a negative to hope somebody like corrects this action,
fixes this. Yeah,
it's like the will of the lost to show what happened.
Oh,
that's a good way to look at it. The way I kind of envisioned it when I came up with the blood memories was that all of the life experience and knowledge of all these people who lost their life in a very short amount of time kind of just like forced a resonance or like a resonation to continue to exist in this area. It was just like, but I agree with Chad. I'm thinking, hey, this could be basically, something that people would have wanted to be left to understand what happened to them.
I thought of it almost like a wound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I listened to it before, I didn't think of it that had a meaning on besides backs, like something terrible happened. But I like the idea of it's like, yeah, this is the terrible thing that happened, and someone please go heal it.
I'm so interested to see, hopefully, what happens with Roan. Hopefully we get to see him on the other side once we make it out of the Feywild.
Me too. Yeah.
She should probably stay away from Remington for a while, though.
It's Remington's fault.
Remington's pissed at him.
I mean, he does. Remington is, but you know what? It's so funny because they should be pissed at each other, because Roan warned Remington about having people at the cavalcade that did not have masks, and Remington ignored that warning, and still Roan chose to take his mask off, draw the Jabberwock away. They've got a very back and forth friendship, but you can definitely tell that they care about each other a lot.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, Aaron. It's like, in retrospect, it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty obvious. But at the moment, for some reason, I was not putting that together. I was like, did Remington did Remington steal something? And that caused the Jabberwock to, but Roan was upset with Remington, or Remington was blaming himself because he brought us into the cavalcade, and it was putting the cavalcade at risk.
And kind of how you guys are testing out the waters with the Jabberwock and not really understanding quite yet how it works, how it hunts. Remington also wasn't sure, like, oh, well, the Jabberwock isn't anywhere near us, so I don't see any problem having these folks in the camp that don't have masks, And he very quickly found out that was what drew him towards you guys. Like, you guys were immediately thrown into danger because of his carelessness, and he feels guilty about that.
Well, yeah, this was another good one, and very tense, but in a fun way. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of tension from the start. I enjoyed that too, because even when we were back at the camp just hanging out, I couldn't shake the tenseness. Like, I was like, something's still going to happen. It's going to fly back in. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I was waiting with bated breath a couple of times. I'm just like, is he, like, especially when Timothy called out to the Jabberwock, I was just like, oh my God, here we go. What's going to happen? Like, there were just so many moments like that. Thrig jumping up.
Someone's going to be using that ghost orchid. That's all I was thinking about.
Oh my gosh, right? Yeah, the
Still
seed.
got that in our back pockets.
So before we go, I got to ask, Aaron, how long have you been waiting for someone to catch on to your dad jokes with the items?
Since I made them, which was when,
Oh my God.
yeah. I mean, the Ring of Invisibility, that one you were not going to get until Timothy turned it on. And, but yeah, you got inspiration for figuring out the bag of holding.
When the bag of holding hit me, I was like, oh, damn it. Like, it's so funny. It's so stupid and so funny all together. I love it. Does it even, I want to ask if it's even an extra dimensional bag or not.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
It still is? Okay. It still is. Okay. It's just a real dick of one. All right. Got it.
Hey, man, you want to give someone a real gruesome death?
Wolf. Tough it.
Going in the bag.
Tuffet gets all of his shit from Temu.
Yeah, it takes like 10 years to get here from the astral plane, but it's a hell of a deal.
It's the gnomish knockoff.
Temu was selling chicken nugget keychains.
Oh,
And it was
my
really just
God.
chicken nuggets that they had covered in resin. They were doing it with croissants too. It was like the best couple of Reddit posts I've ever seen.
And with that,
Yep.
I'm glad I could ruin that. Sorry.
Let's go get some cool knockoff shit. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Aaron. This was fun.
glad you guys had a good time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening to another episode of Break, Battle, and Roll and enjoying the Song of Rest. And we will catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to our Song of Rest. If you like the adventures your ears just wit on, feel free to listen in on our other adventures from any plane of existence or seeing stone you get your podcasts. Until we meet again, safe journeys, travelers.